is Albert Einstein. And if I speak honestly about my life, I would not describe it as the story of a great scientist who emerged from nowhere. No, my life began in a very ordinary way, and slowly it became a long journey of unstoppable ideas. I was born in Germany in 1879. At that time, no one could imagine that this quiet child would later ask questions like, if everything is moving, what is it that moves everything? Or does time flow the same way for everyone? These questions seemed strange, but for me, they were the beginning of everything. When I was young, I was not the kind of student who always got high marks. Sometimes my teachers saw me as silent, and my mind seemed to be somewhere else. I did not memorize quickly, but when I understood something, I never forgot it. That was what made me different from other children. At school, I felt that my strength was not memorization, but questioning. I began asking myself many questions about the world. Why is the sky blue? Why do things move the way they do? Is there an invisible system behind everything? At one point, school began to feel like a kind of small prison for me. Not because it was difficult, but because it did not answer the questions I carried in my mind. I was always trying to understand, not just repeat what was written on paper. As I grew older, I started studying more on my own. Mathematics and physics began to reveal a strange order to me. It was as if the entire universe spoke in numbers and laws. It was not just calculation. I saw deep meaning behind it. Later, my life changed step by step. I moved to Switzerland and worked at a patent office in Bern. It was an ordinary job. People came, papers, calculations, the same routine every day. But in my mind, I was seeing something else. I saw reality as if it were only a surface, and beneath it, a deeper world waiting. I began writing in my free time. At night after work, I would go home and open books. I had no great tools, only a mind, a pen, and questions that kept growing with time. One day, a strange but powerful idea appeared in my mind. If you move at a very high speed, time does not stay the same for you. This idea was called relativity. At first, it was only a thought in my head, but slowly it became a complete system. I wondered, if two people move at different speeds, will each of them experience time differently? This question kept repeating in my mind with seriousness. In 1905, when I was still young, I published several scientific papers. They were not just writings, they were like an explosion of ideas. One of them said that the universe is not fixed, but changes depending on how you observe it. People at that time were shocked. How can time be relative? How can space change? But slowly, experiments began to show that my ideas were not imagination. Later, I became known in the world of science, but fame did not change me. I remained the same person who kept questioning. Every answer I found only opened a bigger question. In 1921, I was awarded the Nobel Prize. People saw it as the end of a journey. But for me, it was only a stop in a much longer journey that was not finished. Because I still wanted to understand more. Throughout my life, I never stayed with one answer. I always stayed with a question. Is there one system that connects everything in the universe? Or is the universe greater than anything we can fully understand? Every day I lived, I felt the universe revealing truth slowly, while at the same time hiding itself slowly. It was as if the closer I got to understanding something, the larger it became. And at the end of my life, even when I was old, I was still thinking the same way. There is no single simple truth. But there is order, and that order is what I spent my whole life searching for.